Sorry.
Yeah. So for all the attendees, I'm Mama Surangika. I'm leading the Orlando admin group with Elisa. Thank you, Elisa, for joining. And we have Gary and Chatura, who are the leaders and leader and co-leader of the Orlando developer group. And Swati Priyanka is our presenter today.
Hey everyone. Yeah. I think I know some
Yeah.
of you. We already met in the architect and the admin groups, right? So, yeah, this is the first time we are doing virtual, I guess. Maybe this is the first time for me.
Yeah. So
You can start
over
with
to
your
you, Priyanka.
introduction, Priyanka.
Yeah.
Sure. So, myself, I'm Priyanka. I'm a lead Salesforce engineer working at Maximus. I'm mainly lead a team here for implementation on the Salesforce customization solution. So we have like a big team with like a nine Salesforce, including developers and admins. So kind of work with them on a day-to-day basis, trying to see if there is any optimizations, give the recommendations, working with business, getting the requirements. So this is, I think, second time I'm doing this release thing. Hopefully, give some information and yeah, it's useful for you guys. You want me to go ahead and share my screen?
Of course.
Yes. Yep. You should be able to.
I think so. Let me see. Where is my slide? Sorry. Um, okay. Current access to share screen. Okay. Select window. No, I think this guy. Let me know if you can see my screen.
Yes, we can.
Yes.
Yeah, so good evening, everyone. So thanks for joining our session on the Salesforce Winter.
Priyanka, you can
Mhm.
make it like presenter mode. It's still in the slide.
How do I do that?
On the bottom,
Should.
the last one before the adjuster,
This one?
bottom right, bottom right. Can you see?
Display settings, swap presenter view, duplication.
Click.
Okay, if it's
I don't see
maybe
that
this is
option.
also fine. You can go ahead. That's fine. Fine with you, all right? Others?
Yep.
So do you see multiple slides?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wanted to say it's like an F9 or an F5 will actually put you into a presenter mode.
Oh, let me.
You're in SharePoint, right?
Let me select entire screen window. I said window. I'm not doing anything additional, so I'm just trying to share my screen.
Okay, it's fine. We'll go like this.
So when I'm doing this, it's doing this. I don't know.
Maybe
Maybe I'll
slideshow.
do this.
Give that. I think
Mm,
slideshow should.
What was that?
The
Slideshow?
slideshow document. Yeah, I think it should work. from beginning.
I'm getting some additional this.
Oh,
Don't know. Maybe I'll keep it like this.
yeah, it's better. It's okay,
Sorry
fine.
about that. I'm not good with this stuff, but
That's fine. Let's go like this.
yeah, sorry about that. So, good evening, everyone. So, thanks for joining our session today for the Salesforce Winter 26 release. Um, so, I will for the next few minutes, I'll try to cover few impactful the features which was released as part of Winter 26, which covers both admin and the developer features. So let's see. So today I'll be first starting with the admin related features, so which covers highlights mainly on the enhanced setup, enhanced flow, and the permissions, the reporting, and the setup tools. And for the developer features, I'll be covering the LWC, Apex, and flow enhancements. Right. So jumping on for the admin. So the first one, which I think this is really helpful, is like enhanced field history tracking page. Um, so previously, while managing the field history was kind of a difficult task. We had to navigate into the object manager, losing sight of our overall usage of the history tracking fields. Now, I think with the new release features, now admins get a single consolidated dashboard. This is a new page which gives like crucial governance metrics on like a quick look at this page. So you can see the total number of objects tracked, and the overall percentage of fields currently tracked, and prominently the field per object tracking limit. So I tried to put as much as possible the visual information, but I'm not sure if you're able to see it properly. But this is how we go from the setup. If you click on the field history tracking, so this is the page we get, the UI. Here you can see all the total objects with trackable fields, and how many tracked objects we have so much so far, and it's going to give the percentage, and total trackable fields. So all that information. So it gives all information, and the visibility is important because the field history has hard limits, and exceeding them can disrupt our the functionality, right? So this new view clearly displays the field categorized, and the data sensitivity level as well, so allowing us to prioritize tracking on high risk or the confidential fields, right? So without wasting our like valuable tracking slots. So this is one of my favorites. And talking along with the field history, right? So um, I think this release they have introduced field tracking for the user object, right? So this is, I think, it's a massive win for security and auditing. So we can now officially enable field history tracking on the user object itself. This was not there before, right? So think about like compliance needs, knowing exactly who changed a user's profile or email address or any permission set assignments, or even if their username. So any all of this information we can now be able to track with this new feature. Just like with the standard objects, you can track up to 20 fields on the user record as well. So I think this visibility provides so an information regarding the user access and the permissions, and also it helps managing the privileged users with the necessary access. Currently it's in beta version, so but I think this feature is a game changer for governance best practices, right? So this can be enabled from the setup. We can go use user management settings and we can enable this feature there, right? So moving on, we have this multi-column list view sorting. I think this was released in the earlier versions as well, earlier releases, but this one is now general available with the sales with the Winter 26 release. So this one is a multi-column list view sorting feature. Is dynamically improves like our there's so much improvement in our daily work, like if for example if they want to manage like a sales manager needing to prioritize any cases first, then they can priority them by the date opened, and they can do with the case owner. They can sort the contact name, priority, date, time opened. Previously this level of multi-criteria sorting required running complex reports, but now this can be eased out with this multi-column list sorting. um, we can sort up to 5 columns simultaneously directly within any list view, right? Um, so that's how it's gonna look. When you click on the column sort from the list view, so this window pops up and we can select the columns which we want to sort based on the priority. And yeah, so this once we click um, the apply, then this is how the cases is going to be sorted. And you can see like it's sorted by contact name, priority, date, time open. So it gives all the fields which we used for sorting. And moving on, we have like this automated an assignment of permission set licenses. I think this is going to be a time saver for our system admins, and also it improves the license maintenance, right? So usually when we remove a user from a permission set group, the associated permission set license often remained assigned to the user. So this created license like sprawl, like a shortage, making it difficult to track available licenses and wasting our like most of the time ending up trying to figure out what was the issue. So now with this feature, if you remove a user from a permission set or a permission set group, that provisions a license, right? So that corresponding license is automatically released back to the pool. So this greatly reduces the manual or the tedious work of auditing and reclaiming unused licenses. So I think this helps admins a lot to maintain a cleaner, more accurate licensing um, posture, right? So that's that's a great feature which I like. And the second one, that sorry, moving on, we have like multi-language translation for reports and dashboards, right? So the Salesforce platform now supports multi-language translation for reports and dashboards. This update, uh, mainly admins can now translate the metadata elements like the dashboard name, description, and the widget tiles using the translation workbench, right? Like showed in this image. So they can choose this language, use their users' local languages, making analytics more accessible. Oops. Yeah, moving on, we have like a type ahead search in list views. So this is a small enhancement, but I think it's a powerful for user efficiency in searching the list views, especially. So when configuring a list view, whether adding a new column or creating filters, users often face like endless scrolling through massive this alphabetical list of fields. Now, just by typing the first character of a field name, the selector automatically jumps to that position, and typing again cycles through the list. So this one is like a small change, but I think that drastically cuts down the load and time wasted on configuring tasks. So this UI expectations and simply makes the customization, I think, daily filter experience much faster for everyone, I guess. So this is an easy win for the UI admins, especially for the list views creating. And the next one is like disable formulas in exported reports. So this is in beta version, and like when we usually try to export CSV files, and when they are open in spreadsheet like Excel, any cell value starting with any symbols like equals to or plus or minus can be misinterpreted as a formula, and often leading to this kind of name errors and unintended code execution. So uh, that sometimes could cause the data integrity issue or a security risk. But this new feature, I think, solves this by adding a small non-breaking character like an apostrophe, like this a simple apostrophe in front of the field value. uh, Before this kind of any problematic characters we have during the export process, admins can easily enable this from the report and dashboard settings, which is a safer, cleaner CSV export that preserves the data integrity or insecurity risks. So this can be, so while exporting, there's an option we can do like formulas are disabled in exported reports. So, oops, yeah. So this is, I think it's a useful feature for admins, the people who work for the reports. The moving on, we have like a new setup homepage. Um, I think this is also a quick win on the UI side. The setup homepage now it is looks sleek, has a new look. So this redesign, I think it's mainly focuses entirely on making the admin experience more efficient. I think the Salesforce has removed the legacy create button from the top right, which simplifying the overall the header. Like more importantly, I think the central workspace is redesigned to feature the dedicated files, right, for recommended tasks or any feature explorations they want to do. So I think this page acts like a personalized roadmap, um, which gives like what is needed on like day-to-day basis. So what is our priority? So we can it significantly cleans up the interface and highlights new feature tailored, I think, to our organization's usage. Yeah, so that's a new setup homepage. I think those are the ones which I thought are the most significant with this release. So, any questions before I move to the developer?
No, I think we are good. Those features are so good.
Yeah, so cool. Right? Yeah. So, moving on to the developer features. Yeah, so we have the first one, LWC components for the local actions in screen flows. So I think this update, which bridges the low code, so developers can now use the LWC components within the screen flows. So that was not a feature before, right? So now we can integrate, or we can call any LWC components within our screen flows. I think right now it's only limited to screen flows, but I think hopefully in future, yeah. I think previously it was only limited to Aura components, but now they also support the LWC. So client developers can build any client side functionality, like anything, any complex logic or any custom navigations, any toast messages that runs entirely in the user browser now. So with this feature, I think there's going to be incredibly fast and offer, I think, much smoother experience, user experience, without requiring a server. So yeah, so they can, so the flows now can integrate and leverage the LWC components for the UI UX improvements. Yeah, I think yeah, that's a good one for developers. Um, yeah. Moving on, the trusted mode for LWC. So this, I think this gives it's like Salesforce Lightning Web Security, or we call it LWS, which enforces a strict isolation policies to keep the components secure, right? So, but there are times, sometimes we have to leverage a third party JavaScript libraries or any other third party libraries. Um, so with that kind of support was not there, so now we can define, like we can turn on this lightning web security for components, lightning web components and Aura components, and we can opt in this once this is enabled. Like if you have any trusted vendor code, this modes grants an unrestricted access, right? So resolving compatibility issues or any or enabling any higher performance. So this, like earlier, it was like a major integration roadblock for any third party applications from outside of Salesforce if you want to integrate. So with this feature, I think it's gonna ease up all those limitations with the third party JavaScript libraries inside the LWC components. So this can be set. We can turn this feature on from the setups. We can just look for the Lightning Web Security and we can turn it on. And yeah, this one is my favorite actually. So I I work a lot with flows, and yeah, comparing between two versions is like a very hassle. So now with the new flow version comparing comparison tool, um, it's easy, like developers can compare with two versions of the flow. Like it will it also makes the debugging any automation flows and tracking changes historically, so that is also makes it easy. um, so developers, they can select any two versions of the flow. It could be any auto launched flow, any scheduled flow, or any record triggered flow, and we can instantly view side by side analysis of the difference, right? So the tool summarizes total changes and allows you to like drill down into element specific details. Like for example, here it shows version 1 and version 2. So it gives like version 3 last modified, version 1 status, right? So each and every element, so what was changed in the previous, what was not changed in the current, so it gives all the differences of what changed, what time changed, who changed, right? So all of this, I think this this definitely helps in debugging, and any if you have any code review process also, we can just simply compare and we can make sure that what changes were done. And yeah, so that's a useful tool for developers. Or yeah, so another feature is Lightning Out 2.0. So Lightning Out is basically a tool we use to embed any Salesforce components like an LWC into like a completely external website or application, right? So um, this allows for embedding components to be like much faster and more resilient. So any non Salesforce web applications, if any non Salesforce, right? So anyone who wants to like talk to any of the LWC components, we can use it like a lightning out. So there's like a lightning tag they introduce, so through which we write the LWC components. I did not get chance to put the code here, but yeah, so there's like a lightning tag they have introduced, so through which we write this lightning out component, and um, that can be integrated with any non Salesforce web applications, right? So external, so we can talk to the external applications like a more practical way, without any of the restrictions. That's Lightning Out 2.0. Yeah, and another feature is debugging experience to the screen flows. I think that's a good uh, it's a great feature. So basically, screen. I think this was only with the screen flows right now. Any a So you can see like a new. It's. I think it's all together a new. I haven't uh, got a chance to look how it looks, but I think it's a new screen altogether. It's a gives a like a unified interface, allows you to view the execution history. So for example, if there is a flow and if there is some issue, right now we don't have much information other than the that what flow, like where which decision or which element the flow is breaking or having issues. So with this new interface, we should be able to view the execution history, variables values and element properties, like in a dedicated, like you can see the side panel right next to the running screen flow. So this is a running screen flow, and the debugging, when you go on screen and if you click on the debug button there, and this is how it looks. So it has like how the interview started. You can get all the details, who started, who when started, like all the information, and get record. So this is the like what records it's trying to execute, so what are the context record IDs we have. So it gives all that information and what assignment. So literally every block of the flow we have, it is going to give the details like the flow. So we could get more details in this in here uh, for debugging, right, purposes. And I think it will definitely this visual step by step approach, I think that will significantly cuts down on the time required for fixing any issues, like yeah, in multi step screen flows. Yeah, that's, I think it's a good feature as well. Yes, so next one we have is a resizable toolbox and error panel. So this is again with the flows. once we like go onto the flows and if we try to open them, and if you look at the toolbox manager, if we open, so now they have introduced this little tiny the resize icon where we can directly resize uh, the the toolbox, you can now drag the edges of the toolbox and customize to your workspace layout. So this, I think this allows developers to maximize this canvas area for working. Yeah, for the complex flow diagrams, right? So we have much space, so while still keeping the critical, while still keeping this box for the debugging any visible. It's a simple update, but I think that significantly enhances the usability and customization of the flow to fit the environment specific layouts, right? So that's the thing. And preview style and screen flows. So I think yeah, you we can, I think, now select this is preview style and screen flows. Again, this is only with the screen flows right now. So there's like standard lightning themes in the Salesforce environment, what your screen flow will look like with the preview style feature. Yeah, I haven't played with it yet, but and going forward, we can now select a specific lightning theme, or also experience. We can also, even we can select an experience cloud sites branding. So that's, I think that's not showing here in the drop down, but there's an option here to preview how your screen flow will look at runtime. So we can customize like how our screen flow should look when it's trying to, when it runs, right? So previously the flow builder preview is defaulted to the standard lightning styling, but now designers can enable like this specific lightning themes like the cloud sky. And yeah, I think the branding is not available right now. That's a little update here. Yeah, so moving on, we have a new feature which is AI driven decision element criteria. So this is again inside flows. So what it does is like while implementing flows, when there is like a decision box, this is specific to decision box. We usually set the conditions for the decisions while implementing the flows, right? So now we have an option to let AI determine the conditions. So instead of writing the complex nested conditions, we can provide the AI with instructions such as like we can give an example, like if the customer, we can like any like any of the examples, like we want to show any opportunities which are only status closed, and if you just provide that kind of instructions to AI, then it will automatically create its own the decision logic. I think this makes flow logic like more adaptive and handling of more customer interactions without need to like pro any code solutions, right? So I think for this one we need to buy a license, so have access to decision AI, because yeah, this is we need to buy a license for this. So yeah, so simplified project package references. So this one is for developers working with any like a modular deployments, using any second generation packages, right? So Salesforce has simplified the way we manage this. Like in complex projects, your your project might depend on another package, which in turn depends on like another package, so kind of dependent and dependent. So we previously had to list all the dependencies in our package configuration file. So that is like a base file for our projects configuration. So now, by setting the calculate transitive dependencies parameter, your package only needs to list its direct dependencies. So the system will automatically infers and calculates the dependencies. So I think this streamlines the configuration process and making dependencies much cleaner and easier to maintain. So this is purely specific to developers working with multiple modular deployments, like dependent on other packages. Yeah, so those are the ones which I thought must be impactful. So let me know for any questions. That's all I got for now.
Uh, Priyanka, can you share this slide deck? Isaac mentioned can we get a copy of the slide?
Okay.
Yeah,
Sure,
and
Emma.
this is
Yeah.
so helpful, so
Yeah.
useful, and thank you so much for presenting. And if anyone has any question, you can answer. You can ask, unmute yourself and ask, or you can ask in the chat as well. No, looks like no
It,
questions.
it's a shy group.
Everyone's silent.
I'll ask a question. Maybe it'll get the ball rolling. So on the reports with the formula fields, is that an all or nothing, or is that something that can be just a, if this formula, results in this value, that it basically excludes it?
Uh,
And
so
if you don't know, that's fine.
like the disable formulas.
Yes.
Which one you wrote? Yeah. Okay. So this one could be with any field. So it's not specific. It could be any fields which we are trying to export. If that field has any like special character, like equals to, plus, negative, like a minus. So any of
Okay.
the having that any of those characters, so that will cause an issue in the report export.
Okay. So it's basically at the cell level then.
Correct.
Awesome.
Yeah.
To me, that would make sense. It just didn't look like it was that way, but that's the way it should be. So, okay, thanks.
Yeah.
Is there any way to get the formula from the cell in an export? This might be a little off topic.
Can no, I didn't get the.
Yeah, I think what Don's asking is that to have the, when you generate the report, and Don, feel free to correct me, is that when you export the report, to have it actually show the formula that's used to derive the data. And if that's the case, I don't know of a way to do that.
Or if there is actually a formula in the field.
Is that what you were saying, Don? Yeah. Yeah. So Dawn replied in the chat. So yeah, she wants to know if the formula itself could be extracted. Which
That's a good one. I have no answer to that.
Yeah, that's fine. We can find, like, maybe if you find, please let us know.
Sure. Yeah, that's a good question actually. Yeah.
Yeah, there will be a lot of things that we can do some hands-on to get familiar with the later
Exactly.
videos. So Yeah, that was great, Priyanka. Thank you very much for this amazing session. So, if you guys still have any questions, so it's time, or you chat mode as well.
Yeah, if you have any questions, if you can put it